Yo, so boys, back with another video, and today I'm just going to be telling you guys my top 25 college football rankings after, week 15, whatever, I don't know, the championship week, after everything, so let's get into it. Alright, so for number 1, I got the Georgia Bulldogs. There's really no argument with this. I guess you could say Oregon, but come on now, bro. They just beat Texas again, and Texas, was number 2? Yeah, 2 or 3. They've beat them 2 times in a row, or not in a row, but 2 times this season. First one was a blowout. Well, not a blowout, like 30-15. So that's by 15. And then they beat them 22-19. And Texas tried playing dirty like Tennessee does. That's the only reason Tennessee's even in the rankings. They should easily have 5 losses, but that's a different talk for another video. It'll be coming out real soon. So stay tuned. All right, so I did think Oregon was overrated a lot, like a lot. Until they scored, 45 points on Penn State. Penn State isn't like a joke, but they are a little overrated. A little bit. Penn State, don't get me wrong, they're a pretty decent team. I didn't think they would put up that kind of fight against Oregon. It's either Oregon's overrated, Penn State is overrated, or Penn State's underrated. I really are evenly rated, and Oregon's evenly rated. Maybe they are the number 1 team. We'll see in the playoffs. We'll see who wins Cincinnati. Oregon's number 2 in my rankings right now. They went from number 3 to number 2, so I did make them better. All right, so if you guys think Oregon is number 1 or 2 material, then you got to think Penn State is in the top 5 at least. Because Penn State did put I don't know. They put a lot, like 40 points on them. They only lost by 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8. It was either one of those. I think it was 8. I forgot what the score was. I know it was a high-scoring game. I didn't watch the game, so of course I'm not going to know what the score was. I did ask or look it up, and I remember it was like 45-38, 45-37, something like that. But it was a really good game, I bet. But I'm pretty sure Oregon was up by 15 for most of the game, and they just scored a last-minute touchdown to make it look closer. But Penn State is at number 3 for right now in my rankings. We'll have to see what they do in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure. Who do they have? SMU right now? Yeah, SMU. We'll see what they do against SMU. SMU did lose to Clemson. They're 0-2 against ranked teams, but that's different talk for a different video. All right, so Texas is at number 4. I did have them at like 2 or 3 right after Georgia. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. You can go back and watch my video. I'll go back after I explain this. But I think Texas is still in the top 5. I don't think they're going to win the Natty this year. I really don't. I mean, they could. They probably have like a 30% chance of winning the Natty this year, but they just can't beat Georgia. In Georgia, this Georgia team isn't the best Georgia team ever, but they're not the worst. And I think right now Georgia has been looking like the best team. Oregon and Georgia are about even, actually, so that was kind of a hard choice for me to make. Oregon hasn't really gone against anybody except Ohio State. Penn State is controversial. I don't know if they're really good or not, or if they're just decent. And Ohio State, they did lose to Michigan, but every team gets upsetted. I think Ohio State's still pretty good, but I don't think they're the best. All right, so Tennessee is way overrated, given the fact that they have to cheat to win. Tennessee fans, don't even go in the comments. I already know you're about to type and say, Tennessee is better, Tennessee beat Alabama, Tennessee beat so-and-so, and all that, blah, blah, blah. Bro, Tennessee is not that good, okay? Tennessee should easily have 5 losses. They have to cheat to win. I am making a video about that. Stay tuned for that. It's a different talk for a different video again. So just stay tuned, like and subscribe so you guys get the noti. Put on post notifications. I'm going to be talking about Tennessee and all those other teams that have to cheat to win. Mainly Tennessee. Now, I know you guys were wondering where Notre Dame was. Okay, so everybody above the number 3 spot basically just moved up 1 spot. Like, moved worse 1 spot is what I'm trying to say. Notre Dame was at 5. Penn State was the reason. So Penn State, I had, at number 8 or whatever? Yeah, 8. I moved them to 3 after the Oregon game. So they just moved in, took Oregon spot, or Texas, I guess. So I moved Texas to 4 from 2, Oregon from 3 to 2, Georgia State at 1. I moved Tennessee from 5 to 4. Wait, no. I moved Tennessee from 4 to 5, Notre Dame to 5 to 6 because I moved Penn State to 3 because Texas moved out. All right, so Ohio State stays at number 7. I think that's a really good spot for Ohio State. They might be in the top 5. We'll have to see what they do in the playoffs. They're not 11-2 like most of the teams that I have in the top 5. They're 10-2, so one more win, I'll probably move them in the top 5 again. So, we'll just see what they do in the playoffs. They have Tennessee in the playoffs. I hope they kill Tennessee, but Tennessee will most likely cheat. Let's hope it's at Ohio State, so there's no way of them cheating unless they pay the refs. But let's get on to number 8. So, it was pretty hard for me to choose to put Indiana at number 8 or SMU at number 8. I just chose SMU because Indiana has lost to Ohio State and one other, right? They lost to one other. Who did they lose to, man? They got blown out by 23 against Ohio State. Did they lose to somebody like Oregon? I don't know, guys. I really don't. Sorry, but SMU has lost to Clemson and BYU now. BYU is not that good. They're not that guy. The only reason they're probably ranked is because of SMU. And they're barely ranked. What are they, 18 or 19? And in my rankings, they're 21. They lost to Clemson. Clemson was 17 when they lost. Now Clemson's, 13? But they're in the playoffs because, of course, the ACC champion has to be in the playoffs. This is the worst college football playoff committee we have ever had. Probably. I don't know what to say about it, bro. Alabama's at number 11. Why are they not in the 12-team playoff? It makes no sense, bro. If they said if you lose an ACC or SEC championship, nothing will happen, why did they change people's rankings? Come on, man. Clemson's not a playoff team. Alabama is easily a playoff team. Most people wouldn't say so because they have 3 losses. They really only have 2. Tennessee cheated, bro. Go and watch the game, not the ESPN highlights, Tennessee fans. Okay? Smoke your cigars, bro. What are y'all, 18-3 now against us? Y'all suck, bro. Y'all suck. Y'all aren't good. Okay, so Indiana is 11-1. I thought they were 11-2 or 10-2, but I guess they're 11-1. So the only loss they have is to Ohio State. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Ohio State's the only ranked team they played, and they lost 38-15 by 23 points to an Ohio State team that lost to Michigan, a trash Michigan team, or mid-Michigan team. I wouldn't say trash Michigan team, but I'd say mid. I'd say mid, all the way mid. 7-5 Michigan team? If they beat Alabama, congratulations, Michigan. Y'all are now 2-0 against Alabama for 2 years in a row. I don't know the full history of Alabama versus Michigan, but I know they've beat us 2 years in a row if they win this one. They beat us last year, but let's hope they don't beat us this year. Let's hope we can go 10-3 and not 9-4, because we should be 10-2, but we got our playoff spot taken away by Tennessee because they want to cheat. So I thought about my decision from last video, putting South Carolina at number 10 and Alabama at 11. So I thought, it seems that I'm the only one that talks about how Tennessee cheated to beat Alabama, and everybody else just forgot about that and how Tennessee cheats to beat Florida, Vanderbilt, and Alabama. I guess everybody else forgot about that except me and my friend. But, it's whatever. But, Alabama really is a playoff team. Tennessee, I would say they should be in my position, or our position. I meant not mine. My team's position. But they also should not even be ranked. They cheated against Vanderbilt. Hard cheated. Watch the game, not the ESPN highlights. cheated against Alabama. It's literally on the news. Pumped in fake stadium noise. That's not the only thing. I know stadium noise isn't a huge difference, but it really is. You can't hear. But they were getting away with missed pass interference calls. You can say the refs were missing calls on both sides, but they had the most crucial calls missed on them. The unnecessary roughness, we would have converted that fourth. The PI calls that weren't called. That one-handed pick that Jamar McCoy had was just coaching. I can give him props for that. But I would think that a 6', 193-pound senior could pick a ball from 4 yards away on a 5'10", 175-pound freshman, 17-year-old, by the way. That really would be a senior in high school. But, let's not talk about that. Different talk for a different video. Alright, so I just moved South Carolina and Alabama. I switched them out. So, South Carolina just basically moved to 11, Alabama at 10. So, I really think Clemson is in that 12 to 15 area. I think that's the most reasonable rank for Clemson. I don't think they're a playoff team at all. Maybe, I don't know. They were number 17, the number 17 seed in the playoffs. Like, you know what I mean. Like, the number 12 seed in the playoffs, but the number 17 team in the playoffs. Come on, man. That's stupid, bro. That's just stupid. Come on, bro. Just because they won the ACC championship? Nah. The only championship of a conference that should make a difference is the SEC. That's the only conference with actual challenge in it. What, the Big Ten beats some teams like Purdue and Wisconsin and all that, and then goes to the championship because of their record? No, bro. That's just dumb. The SEC teams go over here, beat up on each other on their top 10 ranked SEC teams. They just beat up on each other, and maybe they just tie with the SEC conference record. And just whoever they pick goes to the championship, and they just beat up on each other in the championship too, give each other another loss. And then they go to the playoffs, beat up on more SEC teams on each other, and then just another SEC team with another SEC team against each other in the Natty, just beat up on each other again. Like, bro, I know I sound stupid right now, but like, that's the only way to explain it. SEC teams just beat up on each other, while these Big Ten and Big 12 teams and ACC teams get to sit around and play teams like Purdue. Come on, man. And I'm not going to change Arizona State's rank until they do something in the playoffs. I get they beat Iowa State, what was it, like 45 to 21, 45-20, 45-19. That's what it was. I get that they blew Iowa State out, but let's not act like Iowa State was anything special, bro. Y'all acted like LSU was something special. Alabama blew them out. Alabama's not even in the playoffs. They should be. Just because they lose to two 500 teams doesn't mean that they're not good against top 25 teams. They just underestimate their opponents, and then they go in there and get beat. 2 touchdowns taken away from Oklahoma game for no reason. If you want to say his foot was out of bounds on one, you can. Okay, 1 touchdown taken away. I mean, at least we scored, right? At least it wasn't a shutout, man. I'm glad our kicker made that field goal. At least it wasn't a shutout, bro. Tennessee cheated. That just makes me mad, bro. I will never forget this moment because we could win the national championship this year because I believe that we are the best team in the nation against top 25 teams. Maybe not unranked, but against top 25 teams, we are the best team in the nation. Alright, so I don't know what I was thinking in my most recent rankings. Miami is oh my gosh, Miami's not better than Ole Miss. Neither way, offense or defense. Okay, Miami puts up 40 points. Okay, they put up 30. Okay, I don't care, bro. I don't care they put up, 40 points on an unranked, Louisville? Bro, that's nothing. What was I thinking, man? Miami better than Ole Miss? No. I just wanted to be fair to those Miami fans that may watch my videos. I wanted to be fair for them And I wanted to, like, do it realistically, like, what the committee would actually do, put them at 14. I wouldn't drop them, like, 10 spots or something. I dropped them only 6, and that's pretty good for losing to an unranked team. But, I mean, come on, man. Miami's no better than Ole Miss. They're not better than Alabama. You saw what happened in, 2021 when Alabama played Miami and Miami was ranked 14? You saw what happened. It was a blowout. They smoked them, bro. Like, come on, man. Miami's not that good. I mean, get it through your head, Miami fans. Y'all aren't a playoff team. Don't even try to act like y'all are. Some Miami fan replied to me and said, 2 losses is bad, ? I said, yeah, when you haven't played a single top 25 team, and the only one you have is because they beat you. And he never responded back. And now finally Miami. I know y'all thought I would probably drop them 10 spots for what I said. I said I didn't want to drop them 10 spots, to be fair. I mean, I think number 15 is actually one of the most accurate spots for Miami. 15, no lower than 15. No, like, better than 15. No 14, 13, and all that. No better than this. 15 and above is going to be their peak. Unless they get a better defense, and it has to be quick. Literally, like, right now. They have, like, I haven't seen any news videos about Miami having 5 and 4-star commits on defense. So unless they get some literally, like, right this second ASAP, they're not going to do any better next year. I mean, it's just the truth, but I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Alright, so Boise State only moves to 16 from 17. They're getting very lucky because I would not move them at all. All of these teams that were in my rankings in, like, the top 15 and stuff are moving out. Like, Texas A&M moved out. They moved to 17 from 18. Now, Iowa State moves out. They moved to 17 to 16. So, 2 spots down from just teams going out. It's not even the win that they got over UNLV. They didn't even look that good. Come on, man. 21 to 7. UNLV ain't even ranked after that. Come on, bro. 21 to 7. They probably could have easily won by more. 24-7, 28-7. Still, that doesn't look like a championship caliber team, bro. It's UNLV. Like, come on, bro. You gotta blow UNLV out the water, not just by, like, 14. I know Alabama only beat Auburn 28-14. At least they got to 28 points. You only got to 21 against UNLV. Come on, man. Also, Auburn's better than UNLV. Come on, they beat Texas A&M. Texas A&M is, 8-4? Come on. Auburn could easily have more wins than they have now. They could have finished the year off, 8-4, 9-3. They could have easily done that. Come on. They could have been ranked in the top 25 if they really wanted the wins. They could have beat Missouri easily, only lost by 4, and they were up 17-0. They keep blowing all these good teams out, and then they make a last-minute comeback on them in the fourth quarter. That's the only problem with Auburn. Auburn's actually a pretty good team if you really watch their games, but their drives are time-consuming, and they have a quarterback problem. Interceptions thrown. He was there last year, wasn't he? Peyton Thorne. He's just not it for Auburn. If they get a new quarterback, Auburn's a dangerous team. They are now for really any team outside of that, for any team actually. But yeah. Alright, so for number 17, I got Iowa State. What did I move them from? 15 or 16, 15. 15, I think. I guess so, but it's whatever. Iowa State, they got completely blown out by Arizona State. If it were up to me and they didn't have 3 losses and instead they were 9-4, I would take them out the freaking rankings. Iowa State is a complete disappointment of a team, and they suck ball sacks, bro. I'm sorry to say, but Iowa State fans, you should just give up on any national championship hopes in the 2000s era. Yes, I said the 2000s. Y'all won't win another championship, or I don't even know if y'all have, in 1,000 years. I'm saying, yeah, you heard me right. Iowa State sucks. Y'all got blown out by maybe a mid-tier Arizona State team. Come on, man. All right, so Colorado just stays at 18. They didn't play. They were 9-3 to finish off the season. Some teams do have bowl games. I don't know if they do. They should be bowl eligible. I mean, they do have 9 wins and only 3 losses, but they lost to sucky teams like a 5-7 Kansas State. Or Kansas. My bad, guys. Then they lost to a 8-4, number 24 Kansas State team. I don't know why Kansas State is ranked. I think they're ranked. That's what I checked. They were 8-4, but ranked. Number 24, I guess that's valid. They did beat Colorado. I don't know. I really don't. If they're ranked, Texas A&M should also be ranked. I mean, come on. Georgia Tech really beat Georgia. Georgia Tech should be ranked. But, I mean, I'd rather Georgia be in there because I want Georgia to win the Natty other than if Alabama's not in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Because Georgia is my second favorite if Alabama's not competing. So, I hate Tennessee. I hate Texas. They're not SEC. Come on, man. Lost to Georgia twice this year. And it was bad losses because how are you going to try to play dirty like Tennessee does, still lose? That's kind of sad, bro. Okay, so Missouri does play SEC competition, but they play the top SEC teams and they get blown out. Maybe not blown out by every team, but they got blown out by Alabama. 34-0, that's a big blowout. And they haven't been shut out since, 2010, they said? And it was by Georgia, 34-0, same exact score. But the only reason that Alabama even blew them out, Alabama didn't play perfect. Come on, man. Don't act like they did, Alabama fans. I'm an Alabama fan, and I'm saying they didn't play perfect. Come on. But Missouri had all of their starters hurt almost. All their important starters. Their running back, their quarterback, maybe a receiver. No, the receiver was in, Luther Burden III, but he didn't have a quarterback to throw it to him, and he was on lockdown all game. He was being tripled up, bro. Ooh, he had 3 yards that whole game. That was insane. But let's get on to number 20. Alright, so Illinois, I just kept them the same at 20. They beat Miami 42-38. They scored like crazy on Miami. I'm not going to act like that's a big accomplishment to score 42 on Miami. That defense is soft. That has to be the worst defense in the college football rankings. They probably have one of the worst defenses in the ACC. And it's bad when you got to say the ACC. The ACC is probably the worst conference that has a playoff team in it. Or maybe the Big 12 and ACC are debatable, I would say. ACC has better history than Big 12, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Clemson, I don't laugh at me for this because a bunch of people probably did too. This is probably relatable for a lot of people. It was with my friend. But I actually thought for a little while, for a few seasons, that Clemson was in the SEC because of how much they competed with all these SEC teams. I thought they were, and I figured it out that they weren't, just recently, last season or this season at the start. Maybe on the summer before the season started. I'm sorry, guys, but I thought they were because of how much they competed. But Clemson has a lot of history, so I think that Clemson just brings ACC better history and stuff than the Big 12, so I guess the ACC is better than the Big 12. Not a big debate. Okay, so the rest of these I'm really just going to cruise on through because BYU still stays the same at 21. So 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm just going to cruise on through because nothing really changes that much except maybe one. But we'll get to it. Alright, so I just moved Army from 23 to 22. Okay, so I accidentally said Illinois beat Miami because I guess their logos, I just got the orange mixed up. But Syracuse is one that beat Miami. Illinois, I really don't know who they've beaten. I just got them at 20. But Syracuse beat Miami 42-38, put up 42. Not a big accomplishment on that trash defense of theirs. But at least Miami didn't get over 40 points, right? Yeah, I got Syracuse at 23. UNLV just basically dropped out of my rankings. What were they, 22? So they just dropped out. Everybody moves down. All right, so for 24, I got Memphis. Now I'm going to have to figure out who to put at number 25. That I did not think about until I just got to this moment. So let me go and look at some schedules, and I'll figure out what 4-loss team deserves the number 25 spot. All right, so I do think Texas A&M gets the edge over Kansas State just because of their wins and losses. Kansas State gets blown up by not even barely a mid BYU team, while Texas A&M at least puts up more than 10 points, puts up 20 against South Carolina, and the only difference was some, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was some interceptions, but 44-20, and then compared to, what was it, like a 38-9 loss to BYU, a mid-tier BYU, maybe not mid to the SEC. If they came to the SEC, they're trash. They're the worst team in the SEC. But Texas A&M gets the edge over that. Don't even be mad. It's literally just the number 25 spot, bro. Why would I be SEC biased? It's the number 25 spot, bro. I think both teams, I guess Texas A&M is even in their conference. And BYU, I guess, is even in theirs. I meant not BYU, Kansas State. But, yeah, 25 is Texas A&M. They got the edge over BYU. Or Kansas State. Why do I keep saying BYU? All right, so that's a wrap for this video. Peace out.